Hey there, YouTube. As you can see, I'm in a bit of a Christmas spirit right now. And this model isn't just for show, it actually has to do with the subject of the video. We're talking about what happens if Koishi Komeiji never sealed her third eye. Now, if you are any expert or even moderately aware of Touhou lore, you know that Koishi sealed her third eye because she was tired of the cruel thoughts that she kept reading, because people were like, the Satori yokai are bad, and yes, the Satori is actually the species. So Satori is a Satori named Satori, but that's Zune has never had the best naming sense, let's be real. But yes. So basically, Koishi not wanting to deal with this torment anymore, basically, I want to say she took a knife, which is why she's depicted with a knife a lot, and stabbed her third eye, which caused it to be sealed shut, as you see here. So, in that case, she stopped being able to read minds, but it did more than that. It basically sealed her mind entirely. So she only began acting on her subconscious, because the third eye is basically her brain, or in terms of, like, upper functioning. So because of that, she became forgotten by everyone that wasn't Satori, and the only way to really remember Koishi is by forming connection with Satori. Thus, you know Koishi by proxy, or alternatively, I believe if Koishi gives you an object of hers, then you can remember her, but I digress. In short, she became a master of the subconscious, and that became her new ability. But what would happen if, by a stroke of fate, Koishi never decided to seal her third eye? What if Satori got through to her? Or what if a human showed her kindness? Like, his thoughts weren't evil. He was like, I want to be your friend. Or she, if you want it to be a she. I don't give a shit. And it convinced Koishi to be like, I'm not going to seal my third eye. Or, like, someone grabs her hands like, what are you doing? That's bad. So, essentially, she still has her third eye open. And now she can read minds, and she's an entirely different person than what you know in canon. We don't know what Koishi's personality was before. I like to imagine her being very wistful and oddly more mature than Satori. They're twins, so sometimes they're like polar opposite twins, so I like to think that she was more introspective, more focused on the world around her, and that's why the mind reading thing got to her so badly. So in this case, let's say subterranean animism rolls around. In this case, Koishi is not an EX boss, because, to be real, I think she's just an EX boss because of her literal ability. They're like, wait, where'd she come from? We forgot about her entirely. Oh, very funny. But in this case, I think she would be a dual boss with her own sister, as dual stage 5 bosses. And were they stage 5? No, it was Utsuho, wasn't she? I don't know, I haven't checked that game out in a long time. But in this case, I think Utsuho would be knocked down to stage 4 if she is stage 5, if my memory is serving me correctly. And the Komeiji twins would be stage 5. In this case, Hopeless Masquerade would play out entirely differently, because Koichi would have no reason to steal the Mask of Hope, because she's not acting instinctively. She'd just be chilling with her sister. And I think she would be able to patch up things with the surface dwellers a lot better than Satori can. No offense to Satori, but she's a bit of a sarcastic bitch at times. She's not a bad person, but she purposely, snarks and, thinks the worst of people because she can read their minds. But I like to think Koshi's more of an optimist, and she's kinder. Because that shows, even with her canon self, she shows herself to be a little more kind than Satori, even when she's not actively thinking, if that makes any sense at all. So, in this case, I think the relationships between the surface and underground are a lot better, and not as bad. And here's where it gets interesting. The Foul Detective Satori, I'm not a fan of this, I've made myself clear on this several times, but I think instead of Orin going alone, Koishi actually goes with her, because unlike Satori, who's just like, I'm going to be an armchair detective over here, Koishi is the Sherlock Holmes. She's going to want to go out there and actually investigate. And since she can actively read minds, and she's going to be actively present, methinks the Vengeful Spirit isn't going to get that far. She's going to be right there in the fold and be like, wait a minute, you are not who you say you are. And the Vengeful Spirit's like, oh, damn it. Damn mind readers. And thus, the arc ends in freaking 2 chapters, and we get to move on to more interesting arcs and like mystery of the week type situations. Like, let's call it not foul detective, like curious detective Koishi. I would read the fuck out of that. Just like weekly mysteries where Koishi goes around with Oren, who would be her Watson, and they solve mysteries while Satori is in her office doing nothing, writing books, I guess, because Koishi always struck me as a more active one. So yeah, that's just a little taste of what could happen if Koishi never sealed her third eye. A lot of cool things, actually, if you're asking me. Because, let's be real, Koishi would be a lot more proactive than her sister. Because, no offense to Satori, and Satori is amazing, but Koishi is kind of awesome. Like, yeah, I get that she's, like, kind of overrated in the same sense that Flandre is, but at the same time, not really. Like, her theme is very popular, and she has the whole heart-throbbing adventure thing, which we're not going to get into, because that I don't even acknowledge that. And the fact that Koishi is the most popular means Koishi herself isn't that popular at all, which is why I don't call her overrated, because no one knows anything about the proper Koishi. So, yeah, they just know crazy X //, which you would know would be impossible because canon Koishi cannot feel those emotions. She's just subconscious. She wouldn't be like, my head is my friend, it helps me relax. No, that's not true. But, anyways, you want to know what I think about hats and relaxing? And watch this. Yeah, that's what. The hat's gone. Gonna run away scared now, huh? Anyways, don't forget to leave a like on this video or I'll eat your soul.